The naming of New Mexico is a story of myth-chasing, mistaken identity, and a bit of a linguistic prequel. To understand it, we have to travel back to a time when the world was still a series of blank spaces on a Spanish map. The dream of a new empire. The year was 1543. The Spanish conquest of the Aztec Empire was already legendary. The conquistadors had seen the gold of Tenochtitlan and the power of the Mexica, the indigenous name for the Aztecs pronounced Mexica. Naturally, the Spanish were convinced there must be a second, even wealthier, Mexico, hidden somewhere in the vast, unexplored north. They were obsessed with the legend of the Seven Cities of Gold, a mythical place where the streets were paved with silver and the walls were encrusted with jewels. Francisco de Ibarra and the coining of the name Enter Francisco de Ibarra. He was a young, ambitious explorer commissioned to explore the lands north of Zacatecas, modern-day northern Mexico. As Ibarra pushed into the rugged mountains and high deserts, he encountered various indigenous peoples. While he didn't find the gold he was looking for, he returned to the colonial capital claiming he had found a land of great potential. He began referring to these northern territories as Nuevo Mexico. In his mind, he wasn't naming it after a country, because the country of Mexico didn't exist yet. He was naming it after the Mexica people, essentially saying, "I have found the new land of the Aztecs." The official stamp, 1598. For decades, New Mexico was just a vague term for the great unknown to the north. It wasn't until 1598 that the name became official. Juan de Oñate, a wealthy and controversial figure, led a massive expedition of settlers, soldiers, and livestock across the Rio Grande. He established the first Spanish capital in the region and officially named the province Santa Fe de Nuevo Mexico. At this time, the land to the south was still called New Spain. For the next 223 years, New Mexico carried its name while its southern neighbor remained a Spanish colony. The great name reversal. The story takes a strange turn in 1821. After a long and bloody war, the colony of New Spain finally won its independence from the Spanish crown. Looking for a new identity rooted in their indigenous past, the leaders of the new nation chose the name Mexico, after the Mexica people and their capital city. Suddenly, the New Mexico was much older than the original Mexico. Transition to U.S. statehood. After the Mexican-American War ended in 1848, the United States took control of the region. There was some debate about what to call it. Some suggested Cyrus or Arizuma, but the name Nuevo Mexico had been used by the people living there for nearly 300 years. When it finally became a state in 1912, it kept its ancient Spanish name, forever preserving the 16th century dream of a New Mexico. Key takeaway. If you imagine the name as a family tree, the state and the country are actually siblings named after the same ancestor, the Mexica people, rather than the state being named after the country.